Yo, what's up, family? What's up, YouTube? What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to the channel. This is Codename The Wolfman, and I am The Wolfman. Be sure to follow my other socials, as you can see them popping up at the bottom. But I did want to come to you guys today. It's been quite a while. So first off, let me apologize to all of my subscribers that I have. Any new subscribers to the channel, I am the Wolfman. So I just want to reintroduce myself. It's been a little while since I dropped a video, but I actually want to change up the format and just come to you live, give you an opportunity to interact. So if you see there is live chat, if you have any questions or if you just want to bring your opinion to the channel, please do. Please talk to me. I do talk back. But again, I'm here after a long hiatus, and I just want to give everybody an update on what I'm doing, where I've been, and how the channel is going. So anybody new to the channel, or if you're just returning to the channel, this channel has been all about my journey into crypto, how I learned how to use crypto. So it kind of gives you an opportunity, if you're not familiar with it, or if you just want to learn more, it gives you an opportunity to kind of watch me and, you know, not have to worry about risking your own funds if that's what you want to do. So first off, I always like to tell everybody this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, but I do like to document my journey into crypto and what I've done to make some money. So shouts out to the chat. I see you over there, Do Damage Mafia. I see you, Mr. Jones. I appreciate you guys for stopping through. Anybody else in here, I thank you for coming through as well. Please don't hesitate. Again, we have live chat and I can monitor that as I speak. But this channel has been all about my journey into crypto. So I just want to take a step back. You know, I started the channel in January of 2021. I actually was told about crypto through a mutual friend who is a brother of mine. He really put me into this thing that I had no idea of what it was. You know what I mean? I kind of like everybody else. It's not really mainstream. You hear about it on the news. You hear about Bitcoin, but you know, you really don't know what it is. So it's kind of like the question that I've posed here in the poll is this thing legit or is it a scam? I'm here to tell you it is 100% legit, and I have no regrets about my time in the crypto space. You can go back and watch my previous videos. There's a couple months worth just to let you know what I was doing. I first came in the game learning about staking on the Tron blockchain and kind of moved around. But you know, we can definitely get into depth and break those things down, but I just want to give you a quick overview. So fast forward to where we are now. We got to 2022. I kind of switched up my strategy and I looked into NFTs. I went into purchasing quite a few NFTs. I had a calendar kind of letting people know what I was looking at, and my strategy there was kind of to make a quick flip. And then eventually, maybe a month or two ago, I got a little burnt out because there's so much going on in the crypto space. I mean, there's something for everybody, right? So even with people that I know, I meet in crypto, some of our goals may overlap with each other, but overall, we all seem to have our own thing that's going on. So, you know, sometimes we get money in the same places, but there's always something new. Somebody's always telling you about something new, like, hey, I'm staking over here. Hey, I'm buying these NFTs. Hey, there's this trading platform. Hey, you know, it can go on and on forever, honestly. There's so many things you can do. Now, me, what I found was I started off with the staking, and I kind of, you know, where I made most of my bones is I figured out I was more of just a crypto investor in general, right? So what that means is I just found new tokens. I definitely did my research, right? And that's the main thing. You want to make sure you can do some research because there's just a whole bunch of everything out there, and you can go out there wild and buy any token out there, and you may make money, you may lose money. It's pretty easy to do, and it happens all the time. So I just want to make you aware of that. But that's where I started to make my bones is, wow, if I be an investor, I can really make some quick money. Other than some of the other quick flips that you find out here. And then I went ahead and transitioned into the NFTs. So I still have a pretty big bag that I'm holding. I learned a whole lot. There's a whole lot of lessons to be learned, but again, to circle back to the poll, is crypto legit or a scam? It's 100% legit, but let's be clear about something. Even though it's 100% legit, crypto is a scammer's paradise. Like, let's just keep it real. Like, anybody who's familiar with blockchain technology, coding, they could potentially scam you out of millions. And this happens weekly in the crypto market. I mean, no matter, even though I'm telling you to do your research, you may have a very reputable project that you invest in, and they're really looking out for their people. But there's always the potential for scams going on, whether it's the developer of the project, somebody on the outside. They will figure out how to hack it and steal your tokens, basically steal your money. And again, this happens almost weekly in the crypto market. Millions get taken, millions get stolen. It's happened to me. It's happened to everybody, I'm sure, that's in the market, no matter how large or small you may be, how many tokens you may have. At the end of the day, at some point, you probably got scammed. And crypto has a bunch of special wording that they use. It really has its own language. So what they'll say is you are getting wrecked or you're getting rugged. Most of the time you get rugged because what happens is the developer or whoever, they pull the rug from under their project. They take all the money out and then you're left with nothing, right? You're not even left holding the bag. They're going to take everything. So even though crypto is very legit, at the same time, it's a scammer's paradise right now. And that kind of brings it around to where a lot's going on in the U.S. as far as and around the world, just looking at regulation for the space itself. I think it can be a good and a bad thing. You know what I mean? Everybody wants some sort of regulation, while also they don't want the regulation. It's kind of like some people don't subscribe or like to deal with the police until they need the police for help. You know what I mean? So a lot of people don't want regulation in the space, but once you get rugged and they steal everything, then you're like, man, there has to be a better way to do this, a better way to protect what's going on. So like my man Jones just said, man, it's Brypto language, man. We getting rugged, wrecked. What else we got? Wag me. There's a whole list of crypto language. And if you're on the outside and you just jumping in, that's where you're most vulnerable because you'll have no idea what these people are talking about. You might go out and buy something that's worth something today, and next week your money's worth nothing. You know, you might go spend $100 today. Next week, your $100 is worth $15. And then that's where a lot of people get upset. A lot of people get pissed off and they're like, wait a minute, man, this thing is a scam. So to speak on the current state of crypto, I'll tell you, man, it is in the tank, man. Right now, most of it is red. A lot of people like to follow the really big projects as far as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and they're all red. They're like half price right now. And what a seasoned investor would look at this point, if you've been in the market for a while, what you've likely been doing is setting aside some cash on the side. And when it gets to this point, there's a fire sale going on. It's time for you to build your bag. It's time for you to go ahead and buy. And people hear that all the time. You hear it with stocks. You hear it with crypto. You hear buy the dip, buy the dip. That's another one of those languages. Yeah, it's time to buy the dip. It's time to buy. And it's like, it's really going over most people's heads because what really happens, if you want to be realistic, is when everything is going well and it's in the news and, oh my God, Bitcoin's at an all-time high. Oh my God, all these altcoins, whatever coin your best friend told you about, it's at an all-time high. Then we say, oh man, I got to buy this. It's going to make me a millionaire. Let me buy. And, you know, a few weeks to a month later, that thing is half the price. Again, Bitcoin was up to what, like 48, 49,000 for one token, and it's down to, last time I checked, maybe 28, 29,000, right? So if you bought at the 48,000 point, right now you lost a lot of money, or at least you lost some money. You lost whatever you put in there because you lost half of it at the very least. Let me just say that. But sometimes you got to live and die with it. You know, some people die on that hill because now you're waiting And you're saying, please, at some point, let it go back up. Now, the good thing is, the longer you're in here, you'll see it has ebbs and flows, and it more than likely always goes back up. It might take a long time for it to go back up, but it will go back up in most cases. Where people get in trouble is if you panic and you sell, then you just basically lost money. You just gave money away at the end of the day. And what I learned, then again, I've been doing this now for about a year and a half, but what I've learned is, shouts out to Mason Double OG, is always take your profits, right? Because we always think we can predict the market, and the market might be up and it might be golden. And, you never know when it's going to actually go back down. And sometimes it's up, it might plateau, and then it shoots up even higher. Other times it's up, it goes back down. And that's just almost impossible to predict. You never know what type of outside forces, who's influencing it, what's going on. So once I really started doing this, my man Mason Double OG, he pulled me to the side. He said, look, man, I seen all type of stuff on my phone because I'm usually checking it on my phone. He's like, man, I know it looks nice, whatever you see on your phone right now, but make sure you take your profits. Like right now, while it's good, make sure you take profits. So I just say that once you make you some money, you know what I mean? I'm not saying take it all out, but once you make some, make sure to take some profits on what you've invested in. And then from there, you just got to be careful because there's a lot going on towards regulation. Got to look out for capital gains taxes. So you want to make sure you keep track of everything that you do in this space because they are going to keep track of you. So if anybody made any real money, depending on how you cashed out or whatever you did, they probably came at you for some taxes at the end of the year. If you haven't been hit up about some taxes, either you know a loophole or you ain't made no money. That's just to be honest with you right now. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to come back and let you know how everything's been going. I actually wanted to open up the channel and, even though it's mainly about crypto, it's more about me coming and having a conversation with everybody. Just talk to me. I'll talk back, talk in the chat. If you missed the live feed, go ahead and just leave a comment. Contact me on my socials. You can DM me. Either way, I'm just cool to come here and talk. It's not always about the crypto. A lot of times it's also about the motivation in life. I think, a lot of us aren't exactly maybe where you want to be yet in life. Like the way I look at it, I'm getting older for sure. I consider myself an OG at this point. You know what I mean? But the way I look at it is there's a small percentage. If I look across all my socials, there might be 5 to 10% of people that I could say are like Forbes list happy. And at the end of the day, they might even just be putting on for the internet because it's just the internet. But there's only a small number of people that I see as very successful business people. And the advice I would give you is, don't be jealous or shy away from it. A closed mouth doesn't get fed. So, hey, if they're your friend, especially if it's somebody you know personally, send them a message. And don't be offended if they don't respond or if they don't want to help you or if you ain't talked to them in years or whatever the case may be. Some of them may respond to you and definitely look to put you on game. So I've had a few people look to put me on game. And I'll just run through the commonality with all of those people. And also the books that I've been reading as well is this whole wealth thing that we're looking to get, this whole, I want to escape the rat race. I want to be financially free. I don't want to have to go to work for this company every day or whatever it might be. The whole thing about that is it all comes down to the mindset, right? And I struggled with that a lot of times when those people did respond to me and they said, okay, come to my class, come to my lecture, come to this and that. And they had a 2 to 3 hour lecture, right? And they just talked, if they had a 2 hour lecture, an hour and 45 minutes was all about the mindset that you had to have, right? And I'm sitting in this Zoom call or whatever it is, and all I'm thinking is, look, man, just tell me how to get to the money, right? Tell me how to get paid, and I'll do the rest on my own. But all they were concerned with, the major concern was, let me make sure you have this mindset. And once you get to the point that you have the mindset, then you understand why they're doing that, right? Because you can get money in all types of ways. You could win the lottery, you could get some settlement or a windfall, or however, you might make a bunch of money on your job. But if you don't have the right mindset, you aren't going to keep the money. You know what I mean? A fool and his money will soon depart each other. So you got to understand how to make money, but you also got to understand how to keep that money. And that's where the mindset comes in. Also, as far as money is concerned, money is like dating another person, man. Money is like dating somebody or liking somebody, and you wanting them to be with you. You need that money to want to be with you. If you know how to court money, you know how to date money, you know how to have that correct mindset, money will find you. It will look for you. Just like you're a player, you know what I mean? But you got to be a player for that money, because if you had that right, correct mindset, and you know how to court the money in the right way, it's going to present itself to you, and you won't have to go out chasing it. So that's just, where one of my main things I want to put out there is you got to have the mindset along with some drive. And I just want to come out and preach some of that motivation, and I'm not above learning anything. I'm open. So that's why I want you guys to respond, reach out in the chat. Like I said, I see my brothers in the chat and I appreciate them as well. We just got to come together and kind of share those mindsets. There's a mastermind way of thinking in the world. And if we put our minds together, we'll be that much greater and be able to build together. It's not always just about you, but at the same time, you got to have that motivation and that mindset. So that's what the channel is going to be about. I'm going to try my best to stop in weekly, even if it's just to come on and rant and have a conversation. I don't mind, even if I'm talking to myself. Maybe it'll be more like a therapy for me. But at the same time, I just love to drop in, kind of let you guys and gals know exactly what's going on. Of course, we can drop in, look at some crypto real quick, look at some current prices. But also, I just want to be able to have a conversation, because I think it's cool to have these platforms and jump out and have a conversation with each other. So I love to hear from you. Definitely love for you to like, share, subscribe. Don't be a stranger to the channel. I appreciate you. I appreciate you all. So I see you here. I see you guys in chat. Let me know what you want to talk about going forward. I thought about a lot of things for the channel. Thinking about also coming to you with some stories, some life stories. Again, I'm an OG at this point, so I've been around long enough to have some life stories. I'll probably come in next week. I think I'll tell a story about the time I held about 200K in my hand. It was pretty funny, but stuff like that, especially I was a young man at the time, it just made you think. I think I went out and told all my friends I had had 200K. I told them about it just made my mind race around, right? And it made me question the universe. It made me question my faith and just say, what was the reason that I would have this much money presented to me at one time? So I think we'll have some story times. Just again, overall a conversation. I just like to come in here. I like to speak to everybody, and I like it when you speak back. That's the pretty much overall goal. So just to keep with the crypto, let me just see if we still got some crypto going on. We can kind of look at some current prices. Like I said, crypto is in the tank right now. So if you got some money on the side and you see a reputable project, make sure you research everything about it. Research the people that created it, the developers of the project. Research their past. What have they been a part of? Look for the utility in the project. What is the project actually doing? What will it do for you? What will it do for the community and the world? How will it make things better? Look into all of that before you decide to invest. It's never going to be 100% that those investments are going to come back as profit for you. You could always lose. So only bet or play with or invest with the money that you aren't afraid of losing. But, make sure you just do that research before you jump out the gate, because I can guarantee you we all lose money here. But when you make some money, it feels real good. But yeah, looking at current market prices, we jumped into Coin Market Cap. It's one of the places where I usually look at everything. Again, Bitcoin, You see, so it's actually, I said about 28,000 Bitcoins, 31,000 for one coin. So those Bitcoin people, think about the ones you can go back and look at the old videos where these people had Bitcoin, you know, under $100. Let's just say that they probably had a couple of Bitcoins, and if they held on to it, they made a bunch of money. There's all these stories. There's some guy he spent a couple Bitcoin to order a pizza, probably back in, I don't know, 2011 or something, and like now he's like, oh my god, like a pizza, one Bitcoin is 31,000, and he spent a couple of Bitcoins to have somebody order him a pizza. Again, next big one, Ethereum, 1,800. It's definitely not where it was, and you see these are saying within 24 hours they're going up, but they've just been in the tank. Ethereum's been 3K, BNB's at 300. It's been 450. One of my plays that I would just slide to everybody is right here where you see the XRP. XRP is something I'm big on, a maxi on. So XRP, I definitely have some eggs in this basket in this fight. I got quite a few. There's all this good news about XRP, so it's one that could go either way, honestly. But they've been in court with the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission. They've been in court with them for over a year, and everybody's been hoping for them to win the case. They're trying to classify them as a security, and there's all this evidence to say that it's not a security. Former heads of the SEC who moved on, all these people left. But again, they've been in court, and it looks like the court case is not going to end until 2023. We thought it might end this year in August, but 2023 is when it looks like it may end. Again, as far as I've seen since I've been in crypto, the price of XRP was hanging between around $80, not $80, 80 cents and $1.30. I want to say it's all-time high, though. It's been up to $3 at one point, and as you can see right now, it's 39 cents. Major fire sale. I do plan on setting aside some more monies to get more XRP. The crazy thing about XRP is if you go to Google and you Google world currency, the first thing you're going to see is XRP. So just to give you a quick overview, XRP is basically a cryptocurrency that's used for cross-border payments all around the world. It's in use all around the world, even right now, where a lot of countries are joining in with XRP, and they're being able to use that to transfer money cross-border, and it's cheaper than using the current financial system, using SWIFT and some of the current things. So they're looking to take over in that space, but the price has seemed to have been suppressed just, again, because they've had this long ongoing court battle with the SEC. And it seems kind of crazy because this thing is still working all around the world. Maybe not as well in the US because of the court case, but the price is 39 cents. So the expectation is that it goes up to an Ethereum or Bitcoin price, which would be crazy because there's a lot of people holding a bunch of XRP. But again, it could go either way. Maybe they lose the court case, and we still don't know what that means. If it's classified as a security, whether the price is going to go up, it's going to go down. I definitely don't think it's going to fizzle out because these guys, if you look up their team, they're working with a lot of these countries. And I want to say to join, for those companies to join with them and use their system, they have to spend a couple $1 million. So, this one is one that I'm definitely big on. So XRP for me, I roll with XRP. I made most of my money over here in the Binance Smart Chain and BNB. So I do hold some BNB, but I mostly hold the tokens within BNB. Solana, this is where I purchase most of my NFTs that I have. They have a bunch of great artwork. They have NFTs with utility as well. So it's a bunch in there. I'll keep it real though. The only problem with the Solana chain is they have a bunch of network issues. The network seems to be down a lot of times. And that can cause some issues if you're trying to move around your tokens or money. Again, we can get into it and break this down further at any point, guys, or if you have any advice or anything you want to give to me, definitely let me know. But I'll get in here and break it down further, especially in a future video. I think it'll be good to really speak to cryptocurrency in general and how I got into it, and just what it translates to. Because for me, I think that crypto is, it's simple yet complicated at the same time. That's what I would say. So when you're on the outside looking in, it's like if you know, and if you don't, you like, I really don't care, because I saw it on the news, but who knows how to even get one of these tokens? And if one of them's $30,000, how do I get one or part of one or anything like that? Like, you might use something like Robinhood or something, but you're not really getting all the way into the market. And what I would say is crypto is super simple yet complicated at the same time. And I'll give you a little snippet of that. Like, it's super simple in the fact that if you want to understand how Web3 works, and I always say Web3 is inevitable, but if you want to understand Web3, it's basically what you're already doing is Web1 or Web2. You're already on the internet. So you're on this Coin Market Cap or whatever website. The only thing that Web3 does is add an extra layer to it, right? And what that means is it adds a way for you to connect a cryptocurrency wallet to the website that you're working on. Now, it's complicated because certain websites only work with certain cryptos, which means you have to have that specific wallet to connect to that website. But if you have the specific wallet and the tokens, you could connect to this website, and there could be a number of ways that it allows you to get money. Some of them have online gambling. Some of them have games. Some of them have products that you can purchase, right? So there's all types of things. Like, there's so many things you could do. That's why it's so wide open. And I said, no two crypto people do exactly the same thing. We all have our different niches, and we go out here and you can find it. Like, you could literally do this all day. Crypto is really like a second and third job, especially when you get into some of the socials, especially like Discord. For me, Discord is like working a whole nother job just to get the information, because crypto is all about timing, information, having the right information. It's almost like being in these secret clubs. And if you get into the right club at the right time, they'll show you where the money is, right? But you got to be attentive, and you really have to be in there putting in work harder than you probably work your real job, just to be honest with you. And that's very overwhelming. That's kind of what brought me to make myself take a break, because it can be super overwhelming trying to be available in all these different spaces, respond in all these different spaces, and make sure you don't miss the information, because it's happened to me several times. It happens to everybody, honestly, but you'll miss an opportunity to make a couple $1,000s just because you took a nap, you went to lunch, or you just wasn't paying attention to, Twitter, Discord, whatever socials, wherever these people put their information out. You'll miss it, and you'll miss the money. But it's okay, because there's more money out there, and it's going to come around. It comes back and forth all the time. But you want to make sure that you're available if you really want to get it. So like my man MF is saying down there, Do Damage Mafia, get you some XRP. I believe he's going to get him some XRP, but it's not financial advice. Only get what you can afford to lose. You know what I mean? Now, if you become a millionaire, just know I got a fee. Just kidding, but you know what I mean? If you get that money, man, that's what you want to do, is look at some of these projects. So that was just a quick tangent about crypto being complicated and simple at the same time. The simplest thing for me was to become an investor, but I had to go through those early on teachings and everything I learned where I started on the Tron market, when I started with my man Mason RRG. I'll tell you, when I first started, I didn't know nothing about anything, right? I probably slept on the crypto for about 2 weeks before I had an epiphany in my head, and it literally woke me up out of my sleep. And that's when I created this channel, because I knew how important it was at that point. And it hasn't forsaken me. Out of all the different things I've done in life, gone through, this is one that I'm with for the long haul. And I've exceeded any goal that I thought I created in the beginning. I'll tell you that. Like things are getting a little crazy now, so you might not be able to go into the minute details of it, but I far exceeded any goal I spoke of on any of my earlier videos. Like it just is what it is. And I was happy to see that. Like I was happy and afraid at the same time. That's how crazy it is. The crazy thing about me, a lot of times I'm using my phone. That's the good thing. You can take it with you on your phone, right? But when I'm on my phone, it actually it scares me to check it sometimes. Like when it's red, it scares me to check it because it's like, oh no, you're probably losing money. When it's green and I'm making a bunch of money, like, and I feel like my phone is on fire and I don't want to look at it. That's how scary it gets. I'm like, oh my God, it's a bunch of money on here. And any of my friends, they know, like, I probably sent you a screenshot of my phone, right? And they're like, oh shoot. But you know what? That brings up a good point. When it's going crazy, one of the number one questions I get, number one comments is, oh cool, you getting money. Can you use it? Can you access it? How do you get it, right? So if you're a new crypto person, you just see a bunch of money on your phone. You have no idea what's going on. But that's one of the things you have to learn. How do you get into it, but how do you get back out? Right? So the first thing they say, they see the money, they're like, oh, cool, you got a bunch of money. Can you do something with it? Is it, is it usable? Now, of course, I've been here for a while. So yeah, you could do a whole bunch with it. There's crypto debit cards. There's all types of ways for you to move crypto around and turn it back into fiat currency, turn it back into cash. But again, you want to be careful because there are capital gains taxes, right? So if you're making money in crypto, if you're making it at least the legit way, you're likely going to be paying some taxes on it, guys. But yeah, that's one of the things. Friends and family, they support. I love the support and I appreciate it. But that would be one of the questions. Now, on the flip side of that, there's plenty of people that I'm friends with, family, you name it. And I discussed this with my mentor, Mason, but you name it, man, they don't understand it and they don't want to understand it, right? To the point that they will make jokes and talk trash. And, in the beginning, I got a little salty when they were making jokes and being funny in my face because I'm really thinking like, bro, my phone could pay for your whole car and everything right now. Like my phone is on fire. But at the same time, like you got to understand when people don't know what something is, when I didn't know what something was, I kind of leaned into, I'm not doing that. That would be one of the number one reasons that I would think that it's a scam is because of something like that. Right. So just know, man, just take the criticism with a grain of salt, man. Criticism helps you get better. And yeah, for sure, brother. I see you got a question in the chat, man. Do Damage Mafia, go ahead and shoot your question. Know that I'm paying attention. But yeah, let me know what's going on, brother. But that just is what it is, man. That's comes with the territory. Not everybody is going to be into what you're into. And I'll say it's not going to be everybody's passion. Like I said, this woke me up out of my sleep one night. And I automatically knew that I needed to do something like that. Like I've been in the tech market for a very long time. I work for a reputable tech company, and this is in no way they're, backed or sponsored by them. But at the same time, this kind of blended two worlds for me. It blended that tech and it blended the finances that I wanted to have to grow financially. So it put those two things together, and that's what made it so cool for me. And so I got Do Damage Mafia. He's asking if you hold the account for a year, isn't the tax reduced or lifted? So currently I don't know, or I don't think that it's reduced or lifted. It's really, as far as I know, is all about when you cash out. Like if you hold it, you're not going to be taxed on something that you continue to hold in your wallet. But if you cash it out, you are going to be taxed at that point on the gains that you made. So that's why you have to kind of, you have to try to explain to the IRS, oh, I bought at this price and I made a gain of this, and then they'll take a percentage out of, and capital gains is pretty high. It's like, it's ridiculous, honestly. And definitely there could be some ways around it. I'm not here to tell you how to get around it because I don't need the IRS on my tail. But to give you an example, one business that caught on to it, I want to say, is Cash App. A lot of people love Cash App, use Cash App now, right? And the beginning of the year, they like made this rule change where they're saying like, hey, you send over, I don't know, it might be $100, $50, but whatever it is, they're like, hey, if you send this money, it has to be claimed on your taxes, right? And me personally, I use Cash App myself. I cashed out some funds on Cash App, and what they did, boom, my Cash App, it started having notifications, and it started sending me letters. They're like, hey, you withdrew this money. Make sure you put this claimant on your taxes because it shows you did this money. Now the crazy part is, crypto is decentralized, and it's so crazy. You could put the money on there a number of ways. So there's kind of a gray area there to proving or explaining at what price did I actually buy it at. Now, some people keep spreadsheets just to show when they bought and the profits and all that when you're really doing your due diligence. But it's kind of a gray area for them to try and tax you on something when they may not necessarily know what you put into it to be able to make the gains that you made, if that makes sense. Yeah, so okay, Dude Damage Mob, he said $600 transaction on Cash App has to be claimed. Yeah, I think it might be 600. That if it's 600. So if you got 600, it has to be claimed, right? And that's just a crackdown because people were sending money back and forth on Cash App all the time, over $600 just to send the family, not just for crypto. You send the money back and forth. No, the reason that it comes into crypto, if you have a Cash App, you can buy and sell Bitcoin on Cash App. And so how they get you is you want to cash out on Cash App. If you want to cash out on Cash App, right, you would likely have to convert your funds to Bitcoin, send the Bitcoin to the Cash App wallet. Then you can press the sell button. It'll sell it. And then it just shows up as funds on your Cash App account, which you could withdraw it to your real account if you connect it. But yeah, just holding on to the funds, really, to answer your question. Holding the funds, as long as you hold it, no, you are not taxed while it's being held in your wallet, while it's still actually crypto. But if you cash it out, like if you do something such as sending that Bitcoin and selling the Bitcoin for actual money that you can put into your account, you would be taxed. You would definitely be taxed. Now, keep in mind, there's a bunch of other ways. There's actual debit cards that you can get. Crypto.com has a debit card. Coinbase.com has a debit card. There's several other ones. Juno has a debit card, and they allow for certain cryptos to be spent the same as cash. So, it doesn't have to be Bitcoin, you could be Ethereum, BNB, whatever they accept, but you could basically send it to the wallet that's connected to the card, and then you could go to the store and swipe the card just like you would your bank card, and make purchases. That too could be tracked depending on the site. So you want to look at the terms on that site to figure out how it works. But there are also some that don't require anything to be claimed. You just have to make sure you have the correct currency and the right card that's going to let you swipe it. So good question, Do Damage Mafia. I appreciate you clarifying as well. It's $600 per transaction, and yeah, they're gonna come after you, dog. They're gonna come, right? Because they were in my inbox straight up. As soon as I went to do my taxes, Cash App, they came to collect. But it's cool. I made my money. So you got to pay the cost to be the boss, man. I know you remember that. But if you want to be the boss, you got to pay the cost, man. You can't just jump in here thinking you above the law. It's only so long that you're going to be able to get along like that. So, yeah, appreciate that, Do Damage Mafia. So, that's just a little insight. Let me see. Tron, you see Tron on the list? That's exactly where I started in crypto. Very first crypto that I own, um, that I was donated and gifted by my man Mason Double OG. I appreciate you, brother. I'll be eternally grateful to you for showing me this platform and how it works. Um, but currently, that's just how it rolls. Harmony One, that's one on my watch list. That one's actually created by a former Apple developer, so I always think it's one to watch. Price is really good. It's only 4 cents right now. That's not bad. One of the wallets that I use, you see it down here, Clever. Clever is a super cool wallet. It's available on Android and iPhone. It lets you hold multiple currencies. Some of these wallets can maybe only hold one or two, but a lot of them are hip to the point that you could hold several. So you can hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tron. And I want to say they started out as just like mainly Tron, but they're holding everything in there. USDT, man, most of the stuff you see in here, you can actually hold. Now, the one at the bottom, that FEG, you can't hold that one, but I love it. I like their logo. They're a pretty cool group. The price of that token has not been going up, I can tell you that. But FEG is for Feed Every Gorilla. That's one that I think Do Damage Mafia would like. They have a gorilla logo, and they're all about the gorilla. One of the big plays I'll give you guys for free is Elephant Money. That's been a big dog. French Connection has been a big dog for me for sure. So I'll just give y'all some of those free little nuggets. My man Mason too, he gives out some free nuggets a lot of times. And I can tell anybody who's here, even if you watch it later, a lot of people that have this knowledge and information, they charge, man. They honestly charge. I've looked to join some groups. I've joined some Discords for some friends of friends that I have, and they seem to do very well in the space. And I'll just tell you, when I DM these guys and say, hey, how do I become one of your close friends so I can get the information you have? I want to say they told me it was $1,000 consultation fee just to get on. So, and believe me, they had a full Discord. People were paying $1,000. Now I could get in the Discord for free, which was cool. And luckily that I was experienced in this space, because when I joined their Discord at the time, I want to say they were working on a token called Matic. They were working on a smart contract that dealt with Matic, and it was making you a bunch of money real fast. Good thing, again, I was experienced enough to have done a similar project on the Binance Smart Chain, and I seen immediately that money real fast, like anything else in life. You know what I mean? All fast money isn't good money, or at least the fast money isn't going to last. So I saw it, and it tempted me quick. I said, oh, man, I'm going to get some of this. So I bought some Matic, but I didn't enter the contract because I could already see that it only had maybe a couple days left in it, maybe a couple weeks left in it. And I thought, yeah, you could still cash out. It probably lasted maybe 2 or 3 more days. Those guys moved on though. So, I mean, that's normal for the crypto space. It's not like they created it or they were looking to scam anybody. I don't think there was any ill intent with what they were doing. It's just kind of the nature of the game. And when you find those things, hopefully you find it first, right? Because you find it first, you got to get in and get out real quick. But it's kind of the nature of the market at this point. So you have to, until that big regulation comes down, if you get involved in one of those type of projects, like I said earlier, make sure you take profit when it's there, because you might be like, oh, this is amazing. I'm going to do this forever. And you wake up tomorrow and the contract is dead. You really lost money on that one. It's not a happy feeling. No, it's not a good feeling. I've had a couple people actually just send me a text message after situations like that where they jumped in, they jumped out, they jumped in, whatever project it was, either got rug pulled, the contract emptied or whatever, and they no longer have the funds, right? And they're like, man, what happened? They hit me up like, no, wait, can you tell me what happened? Or should I, what should I do? And my response is, dang, dog, man, I'm sorry. It's the nature of the game. You got wrecked. You got wrecked, G. I don't want anybody to get wrecked because I know it hurts your heart. Money is an emotional thing, right? So it's gonna hurt your heart, man. If you get wrecked and you lose something when you thought you was winning, you know what I mean, and your partner put you on or whoever put you on, you might be upset. So that's one of the nature of the game, and that's one of the fears a lot of people have is, especially with like doing what I'm doing. That's a fear. That's why I said it's not financial advice, and I'm not gonna tell you what you should do. You could watch me do it, and I could win or lose. You know what I mean? But it's just one of those things where you might upset somebody because they feel like you made them lose. You know what I mean? You steer somebody in the wrong direction. So I'm never saying that I'm an expert or you need to follow me. I know enough to be dangerous in this space. And I know enough to kind of spot what's going on and whether something should work or not. It's not always gonna work, but it should work at times, right? Just like Dude Damage said, man, what happened to my bread? What happened to my money, dog? What happened to my money? Then you're gonna be going approach. You know what I mean? You might have been approaching your friend. They might not be your friend no more. Who knows what happens in that situation just because how emotional money can be. You don't want to be in that space. Don't want to be in that space, right? Yeah, like the Doge, it hurt. You don't want to be in that space. And that's where a lot of people see this stuff, especially since it hasn't gone mainstream. A lot of times you're going to see the stuff that's in the news. A lot of people made money on Doge, but they probably was in Doge before it hit the news, right? Or any of that stuff. Shiba, any of the ones, like some of them in themselves are they don't have utility, right? They have memes, but if the public demands it, the price is going to go up. The only thing is, once you're hearing about it, it's too late. It's already too late. You're hearing about it everywhere. It's popular everywhere, and if you buy at that point, it could likely not be popular tomorrow, and you lose money on it. Now, yeah, for sure, it could go back up. That's kind of where you say you're going to die on that hill, right? Because now you're already in it. It went down. It's like, man, do I sell it and take this loss? Do I die on this hill and ride it into the ground? I'll be honest with you. I'm a down the hill type of person. Like now I understand that you got to take your profits out and everything, but coming into it, or even some of the times when I lose, because I got a big bag of what we call shit coins, a big old bag of. I got one shit coin that gives me other free shit coins. That's how much I got. So I got a big bag of coins that might not be worth jack, but if one of them goes to $1 or $10, like my man is saying, that's a quick cash out, man. I'm cashing it out. I'm not even gonna play with you, but there's gonna be a big opportunity to buy. And I think a lot of people get out here as investors and they really don't know what they're buying, but they're going to buy it, right? And, you know, again, even with me doing that, I would say 90% of what I bought is BS. It's not going to be worth anything. You know, if I have, I want to say, man, if I really think about it and I have to count them up, I probably at least have 50 to 60 different tokens. That's how many I have in my wallet. I got a big wallet of all kind of tokens. If I have 50 to 60 of them, there's maybe 5 that actually make money, right? And some of them I was guessing on. One of them I guessed on was French Connection, right? French Connection. I got that off an ad online. I looked them up. I guessed on it. That one hit big. Another one, Elephant Money, it stayed dead for a while. Eventually, that one hit big, and that one actually was gifted to me or given to me by a friend. You know, he wanted to make sure we secured ourselves, and he said, "Look, this is what I'm gonna do," and I follow suit. So I appreciate him for that. Like that one hit. That one has a real utility to it, and it's actually connected to Bankroll Flow, which was one of the cryptos I started on. So if you check out my earlier videos, you'll see where I'm in Bankroll Flow. Elephant Money is created by the same developer and it's dope. So if you have a chance, check it out. Elephant.money. You can check it out. All of these are basically websites, but you need a proper wallet if you want to connect to it. Definitely need a proper wallet if you're going to connect to it. So my man also asked for me to explain the utilities. Yeah, and of course, utility is what can this project, this token, what is it doing for you? Like, or not even necessarily what it's doing for you. What does it do? You know what I mean? That's what the utility is all about. What is it created to do, and is it doing that job? You know, is it solving that problem out here in the real world? What is it tasked to do? And what you'll find is when you look up these projects, they usually have their own websites, and they have what's called a white paper that's going to lay out exactly what they plan on doing and usually give some dates of when they want to accomplish the goals that they have. And it's kind of like a roadmap that's going to lay out, a roadmap that's really going to lay out how you should move or how this project plans to move. Now, again, they don't always live up to the roadmap that they post in there, but that's where you can find out what the actual utility is and what this token does. Does it give you a percentage back for staking it on the platform? Or are they taking the funds to go improve the environment? Maybe they're going to plant trees in Africa. Maybe they're part of what you call a DAO, DAO, right? Which is basically a group of investors that are all coming together. And if you're a part of that DAO, they might go out and buy some of the most expensive NFTs and allow you to be a part of it. Or they may allow you to be a part of what they call whitelisting, which is just getting into projects earlier before anybody else knows about it because you're a part of that DAO. And that would be the DAO. Usually that's a utility that comes with some NFTs. Because again, it's just like the tokens, the NFTs can have utility as well. And I think it's easier to speak to the utility in that space, even though both have utility. It's just with the NFTs on the outside looking in, it's art. It's pretty art. There's some dope artists out there. They take artists from Pixar, all the major movie studios. Some of them branch out and they create their own NFTs in the way of art. And some of them are super dope. Some of them are animated. If you were watching my stream starting soon screen, the little guy skating on the phone, that's an actual NFT. I want to say it costs maybe $15K to buy that NFT from the guy. And so just speaking to utility, which I want to kind of circle back to that as well, the fact that you can see it on my page. But speaking to the whole utility of it with the NFTs, some of the ones with the greatest utility, they give you some sort of access, right? Like there's one, I want to say it's called Meta Mansions. If you buy a Meta Mansion NFT, which might be just like a little animation or picture of a specific NFT, then you have access to these mansions all over the world. So if you actually own the NFT, you could show proof and it's going to give you access to these specific mansions that are in control of or that are run by that NFT developer or company. And it's going to put you into a place where, okay, I got exclusive access. Just, anybody on the street just can't walk up to this mansion, but I could walk up and I can show my wallet or whatever, and they can say, oh, come on in. You in the secret club. So like I said, it's like a secret club, right? And people go crazy for that stuff. There's one for, trying to think of what that music festival is called, and I can't think of it right now. It might be South by Southwest, but it's one of the big music festivals that goes on, and they had their own NFT. And if you bought the NFT, it was like 30, 40,000. But if you bought the NFT, if you're into that, it gives you lifetime access. So every year when they run that concert, when they run the venue, you automatically get lifetime access just for purchasing the NFT. So, yeah, I mean, the product itself, is it a utility? If they're giving some physical product out, but there's usually something around that token that gives it a utility. Either it has, again, staking to give you more money back, giving you access to some elite product or access to something that everybody else doesn't have. So it could, it definitely could lead you to products. You might have access to some product that can only be sold to people that hold this certain token or NFT. There's a number of ways that these people create utility. And really, for you to understand and know more about it, you would go to their white paper and you would go through it in detail. Like my man, Mr. Jones said, I see you, bro. For sure, man. He is Morpheus. And so if you look in the description, I did link a link to his channel. He also has videos, and he gives away a bunch of free game. Again, I'm giving away free game. It's not necessarily about getting or taking money from anybody. A lot of these other people out here, and there's plenty on Twitter, Discord, all other socials, Facebook. They have Patreons. They have all these different channels, and you have to pay for the content. And they kind of do the same thing, but they also give you some plays on different tokens that they're investing in and where they're making money. So, I mean, yes, it could be definitely worth the money. I'm just telling you that it's free. And if you check out my man, Mason WLG, you can learn a whole lot. You can learn a whole lot. I would say if he has an access on there, you might even be able to contact him directly. And I know he'd love to sit down. Hopefully in some future video, me and him will get together. I think we have a lot to bring to the table. I respect everything he has going on. So when we have time, me and him will kind of coordinate and probably come together on some future videos. Like I said, I plan on going live at least once a week, even if it's not necessarily about the crypto, and it's just more about us having a conversation about life, about motivation, and staying and keeping motivated, because that can be a pretty tough thing to do. I'm going to talk to you guys a lot about the different books I've been reading. And let me not forget, again, if you saw the starting screen, as a matter of fact, I'll give you a glimpse of the starting soon screen. So, and that's just a quick glimpse at the starting soon screen. I didn't want to stay there because currently my mic is not on the starting soon. But if you saw the little guy going ahead and skateboarding on top of the phone, he's doing that, and he's an actual NFT. And so that brings up a point I wanted to make about NFTs, because even in my everyday life, when you bring up NFTs, a lot of people don't understand what that is. They're like, I have no idea what NFT is, and I really don't care what NFT is. NFT is a scam. It's a picture. Here, I can screenshot it with my phone. I can screenshot it. I can record it with my computer, whatever, just like the one that's there, right? I don't own that NFT. You see it on my page. You see it, shouts out to the developer of it, but I don't own it. I definitely didn't pay $14,000, $15,000. Now, NFT stands for non-fungible token. And again, I'll give you a quick breakdown, an overview of how that really works in the real world. It's kind of like if you collected sports cards, baseball cards, football cards, Pokemon cards. If you collect any type of collector's items, what's those? I can't remember the name of them, but those dolls are super expensive. So it might be dolls, action figures, cards, any type of collectible. If you collect any of those items, an NFT is just like those items in this instance. In today's market, if you want to get paid off any of those collectibles or memorabilia, what you usually have to do is contact a grading company, and you send it in to them, or you go to a convention or whatever, they come to you, and they're going to look over your card or your memorabilia, and they're going to grade it on its authenticity. They're going to grade it on its condition. And if they can give it a look over and they say, okay, this is not fake, this is completely authentic, it's in a good condition, they're going to assign a grade to it. And that's usually when you see the cards, they're in like that big plastic case, and it gives you the grade. And it basically says this is certified, not a fake, the real item, and it's in this condition, right? And what that allows you to do, that allows you to then go to the auction or eBay and say, hey, I got this one of one, I got this legit card, and who wants to buy? And that allows you to sell it at its maximum value, right? So the way that it works for the NFTs is when you have a NFT, it's sold as a non-fungible token and it's sold by whatever developer, right? When they sell it, they do something called minting, and they mint it. The reason it's a cryptocurrency, they mint it on the blockchain. This might go over a lot of people's head, but basically it's a part of the blockchain, and the blockchain goes on forever. So when they mint this NFT, it comes out on the blockchain certified that, like, let's just say it was Samsung, right? And it's putting out their new phone, right? And so when it goes out, it stamps that I sold this new phone to the Wolfman on such and such date. And that's stamped to the blockchain. So it's just like having your card with the authenticity on it. It's now stamped that the Wolfman owns this NFT, and this NFT was sold to him by Samsung. So it's 100% authentic, and it's not a screenshot that Joe Blow took over here and he's showing me the same picture. You can screenshot it and you have the same picture, but you don't have ownership because I have the authenticity ticket that shows on the blockchain I own it. Now I could sell it to somebody else or trade it, but again, it's just when I do that, it's going to stamp the blockchain and say, hey, this went from the Wolfman to whoever else, and now they own the authenticity of it. So even if you screenshot it, you record it, you don't necessarily own it. You could look at it and it looks pretty, but it's all about having the actual ownership. And there's a lot in the way that could go for NFT, like just like crypto in general. It has not yet gone mainstream, so it's not all over the place. And there's so many opportunities for you to create utility with these things. Like one thing you can do with NFTs, even if it's just art, there's a potential for you to create wearable jewelry. Like some of mine, when I have my Apple Watch on, I have the NFT saved to the watch. Now there's also jewelry you can wear. There's necklaces with the screen on it, and it will show the NFT in the screen. And so the big ballers, they're the ones buying that stuff because they want to go out. It's like having on an expensive piece of jewelry. I got on a 30K NFT around my, my necklace or whatever it is, and everybody in the room sees it and like, oh, what is that? Like it's getting all this buzz. That's where they get a lot of buzz is from dealing with celebrities as well. They deal with a lot of celebrities, and those celebrities drive the market in a way. And again, it's not mainstream. I'll tell you some of the major celebrities in the space right now would be Snoop Dogg might be the biggest one. Like he has several NFT token projects. And what I've kind of seen off of YouTube, it looks like what's helped him out a lot are his kids, his sons and stuff. They're into it as well. So again, he owns Death Row now. So I think he plans on doing some NFT work with that. So Snoop Dogg is super heavy. I would advise you follow him on Twitter. Another person, Jim Jones. Jim Jones is pretty heavy in the game. He has a NFT coming out. I want to say it's either done by his uncle or cousin or somebody in his family, but he's supporting the NFT. But he also has NFTs on the music side. Tory Lanez, he had an NFT album. It was crazy how that one came out. Like, it's probably been over a year now. I don't remember the exact details, but he was going through his thing. He put out an NFT album. I believe it consisted of 1 million NFTs that he sold at $1 a piece, and they were sold out within 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That's the crazy thing. You get a good NFT, it'll sell out so fast. So that means he's made $1 million that quick. It sold out. I'm sure he had to pay out fees or whatever to other people. But again, it sold out that fast. Now, the crazy thing is the buzz for that NFT was so big, you could then, if you got one, you could resell it for like, I don't know, maybe 20, 30K. You know what I mean? You could, so that's where the market is crazy. Migos have been in there. They had a crazy NFT for a while. I don't know if it was the whole group Migos, but a couple of them had some NFTs out for a while, which was pretty cool. There's been some other famous people, but also like my man Mr. Jones, he put me on game. Some of them became rugs, man. That was I want to say it was the NBA player he told me about. He was a part of a NFT group and they pulled a rug. I'm not saying that guy pulled a rug, but somebody pulled a rug and a lot of people lost money. And again, that's the nature of the beast. So I would say regulation is needed. Regulation is needed for sure, but don't over-regulate it. You know what I mean? Don't overtax me. I just don't want these scammers to come and take everybody's money and just make it not a nice place to be because nobody wants to lose money. So that's usually how it goes, man. You know, much love and respect to everybody for coming out to the channel today. I appreciate the questions in chat, you know, kind of getting used to keeping up with the questions and what's going on. But I definitely thank you, brothers, for coming in there, for responding to the poll. If anybody comes in later, don't be shy. Leave a comment on the page. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you know when I actually go live. I'm going to be doing this like once a week, just coming in, talking about life, talking about motivation, talking about crypto. And, you know, best believe when it goes green, it's going to go green because I'm going to hold that bag, whether it's shit coins or not. I'm holding on that bag. I'll tell you, a lot of them probably won't make it through this bear market, but when it's bullish, man, it's bullish and it's money on the line. So I appreciate everybody for coming out, man. Wolfman, I'm going to get up out of here.